Sir, can we ask?
Good morning. Can you hear me now, please?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
So I'm sorry, there was some technical problem. I was not able to unmute my mic. I think I have managed now. Can you hear me loud and clear? Should I start?
Yes, yes, yes.
Good morning, friends. Honorable Mr. Dalal, Agriculture, Animal Husbandry and Fisheries Minister of Haryana. My very dear colleague, Dr. Rajiv Ranjan, the Secretary, Department of Fisheries, Government of India, Mr. Jasmohan Singh, Dr. Chirantan Kadyan, a lot of friends I can see on the screen who are part of this panel, a very distinguished gathering. Good morning, friends. I'm sorry for this slight delay on account of technical issues, and probably we need to get adjusted to the new mode of interaction and meetings and workshops. I'm very happy that the CII has chosen this subject of livestock, dairy, and fisheries as a means for making rural India self-reliant. Why is this theme very critical and important? Mr. Jasmohan Singh has highlighted a little bit. Let me elaborate a little bit. We are going through a crisis of unprecedented nature right now, along with the rest of the world. The economy has been very, very severely hit. And during this kind of extreme stress to the economy, the Honorable Prime Minister had coined a slogan of Atmanirbhar Bharat. The Atmanirbhar Bharat becomes extremely critical, especially when we see that a large number of what we call migrant labor abandoning their places of work and going back to the security of their villages. Now, how do we provide succor, sustenance, livelihood to this large number of migrant laborers, and how do we realize this dream of Atmanirbhar Bharat? I would unhesitatingly say that the key to this lies in a focused attention to the livestock, dairy, and fishery sectors. Unfortunately, these sectors have always remained very low in the priority of our governance as also our economic policies. I have no shame in admitting, and Mr. Dalal would bear me out, whether it is a political leader or a senior civil servant like me or Dr. Rajiv Ranjan, we're not very enamored if we get the charge of animal husbandry, dairying, and fisheries. These are not what we call glamorous and sexy sectors. But believe me, they are very, very critical and important. Why they are very important for our rural economy is that we adopt and we practice what is called mixed farming. We don't have any farmers who do only crop husbandry. Almost every farmer does keep a cow or a buffalo, some goats or some hens, etc., poultry, etc. Why? Apart from the religious and social attachment with keeping livestock at home, livestock is the biggest financial and social security that a farmer gets. Whereas a crop can give him return once or at the most twice a year, livestock, be it dairying, be it goatry, be it fish, is something which gives him a cash flow on a daily basis. So this is his what we call as a farmer's ATM machine, from which gives him and his family the confidence that there is something to fall back upon to earn your daily bread. That is why these sectors are very critical. Now, globally, where do we stand? We are the biggest milk producer in the world. Not only today, we have been the biggest milk producer in the world for more than a decade now. We produce nearly 188 million tons of milk. And do you know how much milk do we add to our milk pool every year? We add more milk every year to our milk pool than the entire Europe put together. So this is what our huge size is. We are the second biggest fish producer in the world. We are the third biggest egg producer in the world. So we are huge in terms of the sectors in the global economy. Why we are still lacking in terms of entering the global markets is that our productivity and the quality of our product needs tremendous improvement. Now, having said that, let us see that the milk we produce is valued at 6.5 lakh crore rupees. It is more than the combined value of basmati and wheat put together. Our fish produces nearly 2,20,000 crores. This is such a huge we are. So what is required to be done now? Now, a large number of our rural population, which will now be under greater stress because many of the people who had migrated to other places in search of livelihoods and jobs and economic security are now back. Land is not going to expand. In fact, day-to-day land is shrinking. The returns from the crop husbandry have reached up to a saturation level. You cannot extract more beyond a particular level. So the answer would lie in livestock and fisheries. Now, there is a very interesting study conducted by the Food and Agriculture Organization, a specific India specific study. That study says that the potential of returns in livestock, dairy, and fisheries in India is 4 times. The exact words used in study is that for every rupee invested in dairying, livestock farming, or fishery in India has the potential within itself to give you 4 rupees. Now, which other business or economic activity has a potential to give you 4 times return? No, none other. That is why making rural India self-reliant would depend a lot on what kind of focus the government gives on these sectors. Now, as I said earlier, that these sectors have not been very glamorous and attractive. Fortunately, the situation is changing now. Why is it changing now? That some of the initiatives which the government of India has taken over the last couple of years are such that livestock sector and the fisheries sector has never been so good and so attractive in this country. Number one, it started with creation of a separate department of fisheries. There was a realization that fisheries is a huge independent sector by itself. So fisheries, if being a part of dairy and animal husbandry, would not get the focus and the concentrated attention of the policy makers that it requires. So government created a separate department of fisheries. Prior to that, in the year 2014, the government had launched a scheme called Blue Revolution. Now, even the coinage was very interesting, that it has a potential of revolutionizing our waters, which is the biggest asset this country has, and the biggest economic wealth in the waters is our fish. So launch of Blue Revolution in 2014, then creation of a separate department of fisheries in the year 2018 have been some of the very major steps. And now, recently, my friend and secretary of the department, Dr. Rajiv Ranjan, would probably tell you in detail. The government has launched a scheme called Matsya Sampada Yojana. Now, again, the beauty of the coinage of the term, Matsya, Machli is a Sampada. It is a wealth. It's a recognition, it's a wealth. And I think nearly 13,500 crores has been earmarked under this scheme. So resources are there. Now the challenge is before us, whether it is the entrepreneurs, whether it is the farmers or the policy makers, to capitalize on the resources which are available before us. Coming to dairy, the government 1.5 years back launched 8,500 crore scheme, Dairy Infrastructure Development Fund. Interest subvention of 3 to 4% is available to avail credit for creating essential infrastructure in dairy. In addition to that, government has also created what is called Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund, which the Union Cabinet approved 2 days back. This is also about 15,000 crores. So there's a huge amount of resources which the government has committed on these sectors. So challenges before us, the people, the stakeholders, people who have been involved with this sector, the political leaders like Mr. Dalal, officers like Dr. Rajiv Ranjan, CII, entrepreneurs, etc., to capitalize on the available resources. Because if we miss the bus now, we may again get relegated to the background that animal husbandry, fisheries are sectors which don't really perform. So what would be required is to make certain templates and models to the farmers according to his status and affordability. Okay, if you keep 2 cows, 4 goats, 20 hens, this is the kind of returns you can get. You just cannot tell the farmer, here is the money available, you please take loan and subsidy and start doing it. We need to handhold him in this scenario and have these few templates, because India is a vast and diverse country. We cannot have one template and one size fits all. Have these few templates and then guide and train the farmers and build their capacities to be able to utilize this. For this, what is required is, and one thing which is a serious gap in our country, is the quality of our veterinary services. While we have outstanding human resource in our veterinary services, unfortunately, this is one area in which investment has been lacking, be it by Government of India or by the state governments. I'll just give you a small example. Our population is, say, roughly 1.3 billion people. This is what our population is. And almost same is our livestock population, including poultry. So we have 1.3 billion people and we have 1.3 billion livestock plus poultry. But for 1.3 billion people, we have nearly 2 lakh health institutions in the government sector, plus thousands of government institutions in the private sector which support this government infrastructure. But for 1.3 billion animals, we have only 60,000 government veterinary institutions. Out of these 60,000 government veterinary institutions, 20 are mobile dispensaries. A mobile dispensary could be a bicycle, a pharmacist on a bicycle, or a pharmacist in a bus, or on a scooter. So, and there is very, very negligible support as far as the private sector is concerned. So what is required by the government, and here I would urge Mr. Dalal, Dr. Rajiv Ranjan, CII, others, is that please emphasize and understand the importance of a strong, strengthened veterinary infrastructure. What is COVID? The source of coronavirus is animal. The bird flu source was animal. SARS, the source was animal. The World Health Organization, WHO, and the World Animal Health Organization, which is called OIE, both say that 3/4 of the human diseases present and emerging are of animal origin. So it is basic common sense that you please address the cause of the disease at its origin. So that is where we need to invest heavily into very good, strong veterinary services. Some of the good initiatives which the government, apart from the fact that they have created a Department of Fisheries, it's high on the government agenda. They have invested a lot of resources. But some of the other which I would like to tell, and which again will be very, very critical for making rural India self-reliant, is some of the flagship programs there.
Mr. Sridhar, sorry to butt in here, but we
Yes,
have
please.
lot of farmers also from
Okay.
the sector. So if you could speak in Hindi also.
मैं बिल्कुल हिंदी में बताता हूँ. अब इस जो पशुपालन, डेयरी और मत्स्य की क्षेत्र है, इसमें सरकार द्वारा कुछ बहुत ही अच्छी पहल की गई है. मैंने पहले कहा कि जहां हम दूध का उत्पादन हमारा विश्व में सबसे अधिक करते हैं, मत्स्य उत्पादन में हम नंबर 2 पर हैं, अंडा उत्पादन में नंबर 3 पर है, पर फिर भी हमारी उत्पादकता, जिसे प्रोडक्टिविटी कहते हैं, वो कम है. और हमारा कम से कम जो एनिमल प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, जो हमारे जो उत्पाद हैं, जो पशुओं से हमें मिलते हैं, चाहे वो दूध मिलता है, चाहे वो मीट मिलता है, अंडा मिलता है, ये हम 25 से 30% इसीलिए गवा देते हैं क्योंकि हमारी गुणवत्ता जो है वो कमजोर है, या पशुओं को कोई बीमारी लगी हुई है. तो गत वर्ष भारत सरकार ने कोई 14,000 करोड़ रुपए की स्कीम लागू की थी कि भारत को हमने FMD, जो इसको हम बोलते हैं खुर पका मुंह पका रोग जो है, इससे हमने मुक्ति दिलवानी है. यदि हम इसमें कामयाब हो गए, मैं इंडियन वेटरनरी एसोसिएशन के पदाधिकारी भी यहाँ बैठे हैं, यदि इसको हमने ईमानदारी के साथ लागू किया, और इसमें मैं दलाल साहब को इसमें बधाई देना चाहूंगा कि हरियाणा राज्य ने बहुत अच्छा कार्य इसमें किया और बहुत अच्छी पहल की है. यदि हम FMD, ये फुट एंड माउथ डिजीज जो है, इसके उन्मूलन में हम अगर कामयाब हो गए, तो हम 6.5 लाख करोड़ का हमारा जो डेयरी का उत्पाद है, ये हमारा 1 लाख करोड़ वैसे ही बढ़ जाएगा, क्योंकि हमारे उसकी गुणवत्ता अच्छी हो जाएगी, पशुओं की बीमारी कम होगी, और पशुओं की उत्पादकता जो है वो बढ़ेगी, और इसके साथ हम जो है अपने उत्पादों को निर्यात भी कर पाएंगे. आज हमारी सबसे बड़ी कमी क्या है कि क्योंकि गुणवत्ता में हमें समझौता करना पड़ता है, हम अपने उत्पादों का निर्यात नहीं कर सकते. वी आर नॉट एबल टू कैप्चर द एक्सपोर्ट मार्केट्स डिस्पाइट बीइंग द बिगेस्ट प्रोड्यूसर ऑफ मिल्क. तो एक सरकार ने लगभग 14,000 करोड़ रुपया सैंक्शन किया है FMD का उन्मूलन करने के लिए, साथ ही ब्रुसेलोसिस और PPR बीमारियों जो है, इनको खत्म करने के लिए. आर्टिफिशियल इंसेमिनेशन जो है, इसकी दर आज देश में लगभग 25 और 30% के बीच में है. अब सरकार ने ये ध्येय रखा है पिछले 1 साल से कि इसको हमने 50% लेके जाना है, और लास्ट ईयर यह कार्यक्रम जो है माननीय प्रधानमंत्री द्वारा मथुरा में लॉन्च किया गया था. इससे भी जो पशुओं की उत्पादकता है वो बढ़ेगी, और पशु से जो किसान को रिटर्न जो है वो ज्यादा मिलेगा. तीसरा जो है सेक्स सॉर्टेड सीमन, ये तकनीक जो है भारत में भी नहीं है, अमेरिका से तकनीक जो है इसको आयात किया गया है. 12 प्रोजेक्ट जो है ये देश में स्वीकृत किए गए हैं. इसमें यह है कि जब वीर्य डाला जाएगा गाय में, तो केवल बछड़ी ही पैदा होगी, यानी कि फीमेल काफ पैदा होगा. अब हमारे समाज में ये कुछ ऐसा है कि मेल काफ जो है, ह्यूमन में तो यह है कि देयर इज अ प्रेफरेंस फॉर मेल चाइल्ड, बट इन कैटल देयर इज अ प्रेफरेंस फॉर फीमेल ऑफस्प्रिंग. तो फीमेल काफ ही पैदा होगा, विद द रिजल्ट कि आज जो किसान एक मेल काफ को, बछड़े को बोझ मानता है, वो बोझ से उसको मुक्ति मिल जाएगी. और जो हमारी जो बेसहारा पशुओं की जो समस्या है, इससे भी हमें काफी हद तक निदान मिलेगा. इसके साथ ही एक और बहुत बड़ी जो स्कीम सरकार ने चालू की है, वो है पशु आधार. मनुष्यों को तो सभी को आधार कार्ड मिल गया, अब पशु का आधार कार्ड भी बनेगा, ताकि जीनोमिक चिप होगी, उस चिप में पशु की पूरी डिटेल्स, उसकी हिस्ट्री ये होगी. इससे लाभ क्या होगा कि आगे की जो हमारी ब्रीडिंग पॉलिसी है, किसान ने आगे पशु अगर लेना है तो उसको आज पशु कैसे लेता है, वो उसकी फिजिकल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक देखता है, आंख से देखता है पशु कैसा लग रहा है, हाथ देखकर फील करता है, और जो उसको फिजिकली बताया जाता है उस आधार पे वो अपना अनुमान लगाता है। अब ये साइंटिफिक सिलेक्शन होगी, और जो फ्यूचर ब्रीडिंग प्रोग्राम है, कि जो ब्रीडिंग कार्यक्रम है, उसमें गाय का चयन कैसे करना है, बुल का चयन कैसे करना है, ये सारा का सारा जो है इस आधार पर होगा। आखिर में मैं एक चीज पे जो करना चाहूंगा, ये अभी एक सबसे बड़ी हमारी जो दूध की कंपनी डेयरी है वो अमूल है, सहकारिता क्षेत्र में है। अमूल के एमडी श्री RS सोढ़ी ने एक स्टडी की थी। उनका ये कहना है कि यदि हम एक दिन में 1 लाख लीटर दूध जो पैदा करते हैं, उस 1 लाख लीटर दूध, दिन का 1 लाख लीटर दूध 6000 लोगों को रोजगार देता है। 1 लाख लीटर दूध 6000 लोगों को रोजगार देता है, और इन 6000 में 5000 तो सीधे डेयरी किसान है जिसके पास पशु है, और 1000 जो इसके प्रसंस्करण और इसके जो प्रोसेसिंग है उससे जुड़े हुए लोग हैं। तो मेरा कहने का अर्थ यह है कि यदि हमने वास्तव में अपने ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों के आर्थिक व्यवस्था को सुधारना है, इंडिया को सेल्फ रिलायंट बनाना है, आत्मनिर्भर बनाना है, तो केवल मात्र जो हम फसल की खेती जो है उस पर निर्भर नहीं करेंगे, हमें निर्भर करना होगा पशुपालन, डेयरी और मात्स्यिकी में। और जो हमारी सोच है, सिर्फ ये नहीं करना कि मुझे गरीबी उन्मूलन के लिए डेयरी करनी है या मुझे अपनी आजीविका के लिए डेयरी करनी है। हमने सोच ये रखनी है कि डेयरी और मछली पालन और पशुपालन जो है ये हमने खुशहाली के लिए करना है, इससे हमें पैसा कमाना है। आज हर बच्चा, हर नौजवान जो है, आजकल नौजवान को आप मोटिवेट नहीं करते कि वो जाके गाय को दुहे, या वो बकरी पालन करे, या सुअर पालन करे, या मछली तालाब में घुस के मछली को देखे, नहीं कर सकते मोटिवेट। उसको मोटिवेट यही करते हो, ये काम करोगे तो आप हर साल एक नया स्मार्टफोन खरीद सकते हो, क्योंकि इसमें इतना पैसा है। जैसे कहते हैं कि उसको पैसे का स्वाद चखाना होगा, और वो पैसे का स्वाद जो है वो डेयरी और इसमें मिल सकता है। जैसे मैंने कहा, मैं नहीं कह रहा, ये संयुक्त राष्ट्र संघ का जो खाद्य एवं कृषि संघ है, फूड एंड एग्रीकल्चर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, उसकी डिटेल साइंटिफिक स्टडी है कि भारतवर्ष में पशुपालन में, डेयरी में, मात्स्यिकी में यदि हम 1 रुपया खर्च करते हैं तो संभावना 4 रुपए रिटर्न की है। संभावना है, इस संभावना को हमने यथार्थ में कैसे परिवर्तित करना है, हाउ टू कन्वर्ट दिस पोटेंशियल इनटू एक्चुअल, इज द चैलेंज बिफोर अस। और आज जो है ये चैलेंज हम बहाना नहीं मार सकते। पहले बहाना था कि जी साधन नहीं है, पैसा नहीं है, बजट नहीं है। आज बजट भी है, साधन भी है, राजनीतिक इच्छा शक्ति भी दर्शाई जा रही है, सरकार ने इसको प्राथमिकता भी दे दी है। तो अब हमारी जिम्मेवारी बनती है कि हम किसान तक ये व्यवस्था जो है इसको पहुंचाएं, और किसान का हाथ पकड़ के उसको समझाएं कि इस ढंग से ये कार्य जो है संपन्न किया जा सकता है। थैंक यू। अगर कोई प्रश्न होंगे इसके बारे में तो आई एम अवेलेबल, अदरवाइज थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू फॉर योर पेशेंस।
Sir, I want to thank you for a very thought-provoking speech and a very, very useful thing for all our guests here. And certainly you are right when you say that if the rural economy improves, and this is a very fundamental key to the improvement of the rural economy, is the dairy, the milk and the like and the care of the animals. It would really give a big boost to the Indian GDP and the earnings and spending power of the people. And rightly, the government has put it on one of very topmost priorities. The farmer's income has to double, and so that's why we are very glad to see that there's such a strong flow in this. Yeah, and I would like to please now request Dr. Rajiv Ranjan, Secretary, Department of Fisheries, Government of India, to give his keynote address. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable Shri Dalal, Sridhar ji, Jasmohan Singh ji, and other participants. It's my privilege to be attending this virtual conference, making rural India self-reliant. And as very ably put by Mr. Tarun Sridhar, we have, the fact that we are discussing this subject is important because, as he brought out very clearly, this is one subject one area where we need to work much more than what we have been doing. So it is, I'd like to thank CII for this initiative, for the conclave on dairy and fisheries. Now, taking on from what Mr. Sridhar just laid down, uh, I just thought I will use this platform to give a little more details of what the government has been doing in the fishery sector and why fishery sector is an important sector to be looked at by farmers, also for generating income, for livelihood. It is a very important, fisheries is a very important source of food and nutrition, employment and income. That is something which we should understand. And allied activities of agriculture, as Mr. Sridhar said very clearly, we need to understand that money is here and we need to work at it. In terms of livelihood, 29 million fishers and fish farmers at the primary level are dependent on that, and twice the number in the value chain. So there is a large number of people who are already there. But the problem is that traditional fishermen, the artisanal fishermen, we need to now upgrade their skills, put in new technology, and ensure that they take up the new technology and increase their incomes. This is where the government comes in. This is where the industry comes in, and we need to do a lot of skill building, capacity building, and that is what I thought I will spend a little time. So as I said, that is very affordable and rich source of animal protein. Fish is one of the healthiest options to mitigate hunger and malnutrition. When we say that, but when you look at the dietary pattern in India, it varies. In coastal regions, fish eating is very common, or near the rivers, people have fish in their diet. But in other parts, it may not be as usually preferred. So these are dietary habits, but we have to understand that now with growing urbanization, people traveling, seafood is becoming, in urban areas at least, take the example of shrimp. India gets about 45,000 crores of exports from fish, which I'll go into a little more detail. And now it's catching on. So per capita consumption of fish in India is about only 5 or 6 kgs average if you look at it. But the world average is around 20 kgs. Now, this shows that we have a huge potential to increase consumption. It may be the same level because of regional variations, because of affordability, but these are sources. This is how we can see that there's a ready market. But our challenge is to make it available in a hygienic condition, and that is an important thing. That is where resources are needed, infrastructure needs to be done. So we have all to understand that the sector, fisheries, has an immense potential, and it is one of the reasons when we are looking at doubling the fishers and fish farmers' income. This is one of the areas that government has, given importance, and that's why when you look at the recent initiatives of creating a new department in February 2019.
So may I just butt in?
Yeah.
A little bit of the speech can also be
Okay.
Hindi, because there are lots of farmers who may not